Hello, welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Chio-Chan no Tsuugakuro episode 11. So we only have one more episode for this season. I'm saying season because I'm hoping they do a second one. I don't know if that'll happen, but hopefully. So in the last episode, the first half had Chio and Manana run into... God, I cannot remember her name, but the girl... I think it's from the disciplinary committee or something like that. The girl that stands out in front of the school with the teacher that greets the students. She wanted to talk with them. I think Manana asked if it was to help her figure out a way to get closer to the teacher. Was it Goto? Is that his name? Something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I think that's it. And they're like, okay, let's just... No, I think she wanted help going to like a shop to buy something, because I don't think she ever really does that. It's one of those two. As you can tell, my memory is horrible. It should be pretty evident by now. Anyway, they're on their way to the store. This little convenience store that's a little ways away from the school. And as they're walking by this house, Chio and Manana grab a flower and start sucking on it. And she gets a little upset because it's basically vandalism that they're taking this other person's flowers without asking. And they're like, we do this all the time. We've done it since we were little. But Manana went over and asked anyway, just to make sure it was fine. And the lady that lives there said, yeah, that's no problem. So they told her, go ahead and, try one. And she does. And then she starts getting really excited because the flowers are really sweet. And apparently this is how she gets when she eats or drinks sweet things. And is something she wants help controlling. So they go to the store and they buy a bunch of sweets. Chocolates, sodas, whatever they could get, they bought. And they're eating it in the store. And she's telling them, if you see me start to do something like you saw earlier, then stop me. So she starts eating a candy bar, I believe, and she starts standing up and yelling, and not like, like excited yelling. And is going on about how it tastes. And Chio and Manana, they're supposed to stop her at this point, but instead they encourage her. They take a bite of what they're eating, and then they start doing the same thing. And then they just go on like a snack binge where they're eating everything at the table and drinking things, and they're even putting other stuff inside of sodas, and and then they end up at a park, and she's like embarrassed, like, why didn't you guys stop me? You were supposed to stop me. And I think it was something like they said that she looked really cute when she was like that or something, and that it's fine to do that every once in a while, to let loose, because if you're just uptight all the time, then it's no fun. And then they agree to have a snack, like, candy party at one of their houses, so that they don't have to do, like, she doesn't have to act that way in front of everybody next time. Which everybody was basically just them and the store clerk. Those were the only people in the store. But next time they're just going to be together and nobody else around, so it'll make it a lot easier. And the second half, it was Chio on her way to school, and she sees that little girl that they ran into a few episodes ago, the one that was like poking them in the butt, and Chio was following her and starts texting Manana to let her know that she's found her, to come right away. And Chio's following her, and she ends up going to the convenience store. I think his name's Ando. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Ando, the guy that was a leader of that biker gang. He is out the front of the store working, and the little girl comes up and is like angry at him. Turns out it's his sister, and she liked it better when he was the leader of this gang because he was a lot cooler, and now he's just some normal person who's like kind of not somebody she wants to look up to. And then Chio walks over and she's talking to him and like, you know this little girl? And that's when he tells her, it's my sister. And then she goes on to explain how she knows her. Basically, the little girl has been looking for whoever it was that caused her brother to leave the gang. She heard it was somebody from Chio's school and just attacked her and Manana because she thought she would be able to get information about the person that she's looking for if she did, not knowing that it was Chio. Ando eventually explains that it was Chio who was the person that she's looking for. She doesn't believe it, and then wants Chio to knock her brother out, seeing as how that's what happened when they first met. Although that was an accident, seeing as how he was holding her up and she was flailing her arms, and she just accidentally elbowed him in the chin. Give me a second. Move that over a little. And so they're trying to replicate that, but she keeps hitting him in like the temple, not knocking him out, just hurting him. And so he's like, okay, well, last time I grabbed her, so maybe if I grab her this time, we'll have the same kind of interaction where she hits me with her, like, in the chin. So he reaches out to grab her and ends up grabbing her boob. And he's kind of freaking out, she's kind of freaking out, but also wants to kind of know what he thought of it. And while they're kind of stumbling around their words, Manana shows up and knocks him out. And then this, like, really, like, demonic looking as she's talking to this little girl. Chio's over to the side saying how Manana's really, like, mean and kind of cruel, and how she's afraid for the guy that eventually becomes her boyfriend because if anything ever happens between the two of them, she'll kill him. Like, dump his body in a river or something. And when her and the little girl are about to start, their fight, Ando gets up again and tells her that if she hurts his sister, he will kill her. And it looks like it's about to be a battle between the two of them. But then Manana just kind of quickly shuts off whatever anger she has and is, like, afraid now. And Ando's still knocked out. Like, he didn't wake up. He was still knocked out. He just unconsciously stood up to protect his sister. And then they go into the store, and Manana and Chio go to school. And Manana's going on about how delinquents are scary, and Chio's like, yeah, what, you knocked him out? So, yeah, it was a really funny episode. Again, I know I don't explain it well enough to have it be funny, but it was funny. So, again, I don't know what's going to happen in this episode. I don't watch the previews or nothing. So let's just get into it and see what we're getting into. So let's see. Alright, so the video is going to be located over here, and the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.